joining from Nigeria. So just a good day, everyone. My name is Michael Fajemilehin, and um, I'm a data visualization professional, data analyst, a BI specialist. I'm not very good at the introductory part. I mean, introducing myself. So if you need to know more about me, you can actually check my LinkedIn. That being said, I think we should keep started. We have about 2 hours, which I think is not a lot of time, and we have something interesting to actually work on. Well, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you're seeing spreadsheets, is that correct?
Yes, I'm seeing Excel.
Oh, okay, great. So yeah, we are going to be creating an help dashboard. Something similar to this has actually been created. I think the first day of the bootcamp, if you were in attendance, Golan created something like this. And then very much later, I think last week, he also created something with similar data. But then this is just for you to know that you could have very, very similar data set and still create, different things, right? So this is the data set. This is what the data set looks like basically. When talking about help desk is like a department of an organization where they are the first point of contact for customers. When you want to contact anyone in the organization, you first get in contact with the help desk, and when escalation needs to be made, the help desk does that. So we have different columns here. Just see column just about 10 or thereabout. First column is a ticket number, which contains the unique identifier for each of the tickets that comes in. All right. So this is like a case locked by customer. This is it was locked, open date, the status, if it's closed, it's open, and then we have the agent's name right here. This is the agent that attended to it. This is the type of agent. So there could be an outsourced agent or an internal agent. Internal agent is an agent that's is within the organization. While an outsource is like an agent that is remote somewhere, but then works on secondment. If you know what secondment means with the company, we have the ticket quality, which could be high, medium, or low. We have the category. This is like what the ticket is all about. I mean, the category belongs to be for technical support, clean issues, and whatnot. And here we have these are different metrics. We have the customer satisfaction. This is the rating of the customer. Over 5. The highest is 5, while the lowest is 1. This is the time that it takes for to be resolved. This is a minute. This is the first contact resolution. So like a Boolean field, if it is 1, that means it is yes, it's a first contact resolution. If it is 0, that means it's not a first contact resolution. And then is reopened. This is just saying if the ticket was reopened after it was resolved. All right, 1 means it was open, while 0 means it wasn't open. And then close date is when the ticket was actually closed. All right. So with this, with no further ado, let's just dive in. I'm going to open my Tableau, and we are going to bring in our data set. So I am going to connect to a data set. It's an Excel somewhere. So, oh, sorry. I think that's the text file. I'm very sure you're familiar with how to actually bring in your data set into Tableau, right? So it's here. We can help that. Have the data set here. I can get into the canvas here. So since we're going to be pushing this into Tableau public later, we want to create an extract. Let me do that again. Okay. Why is this not copying? I might have to do this all over again. A deconnection. I'm not really sure why. Let's find out the alternative method. Then I can go to Fog. Already created an extract. Let's try this. So right here is my data set. I already created an extract. I'll just go back to data source. I'm not sure why it was taking forever for this to actually load. So I'll come back here. These are all the fields in the data set. We have the agent name, just like you saw in the raw data, in the table. And then with this, we can start building. But before we start building, I want to show you what the prototype of this looks like. What we're actually working towards. I have that in my Figma somewhere where I actually design what I want this to look like. So this is the end result. This is what I want the entire data set to look like. All right. So we have on the left panel, we have this is help is the name of the dashboard. We have some features around here. Let me zoom in. We have some features around here. We have different types of agent here. So when you select an agent, it filters the table, right? This is what we want. And we have some PIs here. And on the far right, we have table, right? This is exactly what we want. So right here, I just have a picture of a different agent. This is just like, an hypothetical agent, up right here on the table, right? So this can just like you're bringing this into this point and represent an agent, right? Sorry, someone is.
Well, no, I mean that guy.
Can everyone mute
Please,
this? Can
make
everyone
sure
mute
everyone
this?
is muted.
All right, great. So so we are going to be moving between Tableau and Figma to, colors and whatnot. So right now I'm just going to go back into Tableau and we will start building. So before that, from our KPIs, we could see that if I go back to our KPIs, these are some things that actually stands out. First thing is we have bar charts here, which represent the different months of the year. And notice that a particular month is colored thick blue, which means that this is a selected month. All right. And the other ones are light blue. And this is just giving us an idea of what you should actually, how to prep, how to start this. All right. We will need to create some Boolean values. We need to create some parameters. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a parameter. All right. The parameter that helps us select month. All right. This is the first thing we want to do. The second thing we want to do is we want to create a couple of Booleans, which are actually the selected month and the previous month to the selected month. All right. Those are two things that we want to create. We'll go to Tableau and create those two things first, just like we are prepping, everything we need to do. So you're just going to right click on this. We're going to create our first parameter, which is going to be like a select month parameter. I'm just going to call this parameter select month. Select month. Sorry, please,
please just go to Zoom and mute everyone.
So you're always keeping that. So why?
Please.
She know you not to tell her. You keep
that
telling her
one.
about like expressive. How we make sure that she doesn't understand.
I can't even find. Okay, I'll do that.
Have you seen how to do it, please?
Yeah, I'm doing that now. All right. Great. So we are going to create a parameter that is called select month. And that parameter is going to have set of integers from 1 to 4, which represents the first month to the 12th month, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. These are integers, but we don't want the integer to show on the front end. On the back end, they are integers, but on the front end, we want them to show us like the actual month. So we are going to have January for 1, February for 2, February for 2. We're going to have March for 3. I think someone else joined in, and it's February 3. Oh my God. And all right, so we have August, we have September, we have October.
Tayo, please, the way
Sorry,
you
can
can mute
everyone just mute,
on.
please? Let me focus, please.
Please look into it.
Is
Yes,
is
the
it
way you
possible
can.
to just is it possible to auto mute everyone that comes in, please?
Yeah, there should be the auto
Okay,
mute.
okay, okay. I've done that. I've done that now. Thanks. All right, please confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you, yes.
October, November, December. Okay. November, and right here we have December. All right, so this is what we're doing. We want this to actually show. Right now, I can go here and select parameter. We can have the parameter right here. So this is what we're seeing on the front end. Meanwhile, on the back end, we actually have list of integers. With that done, we can create our first Boolean calculation, which says selected month. Selected month is going to be month of our date. So our date is the open date. Open date. Italicens brings that out easy, and then equals to our parameter, which is the select month. This is our first Boolean. We can just name this bool. We can easily identify a Boolean. Right, we have the first Boolean, then we can duplicate this to create the other one, and then this is going to be previous month Boolean, previous month. This out. So open date equals to this minus 1. Remember, we are dealing with integers. So this minus 1 equals to. So I'm going to tell you, when you're using months actually convert your date into the integer representation of your date. So if your date is actually January, if your month is January, it converts it to the integer of January, which is 1. So 1 equals this is a Boolean. With this minus 1, it means the before this. That is what we are doing right here. All right, great. So we've created the two. Let's go back to our Figma and see. So this is like just to make our work we want to create everything we need before we start creating our calculations and every other thing. So we actually have something here. These are lists of agents, right? These are controlled by parameters as well. So we are going to create a parameter. So we're going back to Figma and creating a parameter from our agent name. So our agent name, we are creating the parameter. And we call that agent name. We're calling this P agent name. I always like this P before I name my parameters. So we have all the agent name here. If you click on select all, it brings out all the agent name. All right. So we click on OK. All right, great. So we are almost there. So now we can now start creating all our KPIs. So the first KPI or the list of KPIs we want to create the total cases, first contact, average resolution in this particular order. Like I said, we're going to be moving between Figma and Tableau. So the first one we want to create is total cases, right? So total selected month. Let's just use selected month total cases. And it's going to be if our Boolean is true. Our Boolean is selected month, right? If selected month is true, what do we want? We want to see the total cases. The total cases is ticket number, all right? The ticket number actually represents and ticket number represents a particular case. So ticket number, and always remember to end your statement with, and then you can just wrap everything in a count, all right? So we are trying to count how of this, and then we have, and we can write, okay, there's a select month total cases, and we can duplicate to look at the previous month total cases. So we can edit and say, we are looking at the previous month total. Okay, so instead of selected month, we're just going to use previous month. Very old. Okay, so previous month total cases. All right, previous month total cases, and then yeah, we're good. So with this two, we can be the first thing. Okay, aside from that, if you remember, what's it called? Right here, we also have the difference between the previous and the current and the previous month, which is something we are also going to use here. we can do another calculation that looks at the total or how is different, how is this. We can look at the current month, the selected month, minus the previous month, divided by the previous month without cases. Remember, board maths, you want to wrap this inside with this side correct. All right. This is supposed to be in percentages. What we want to see here is selected month. Put selected month in detail. And then just show it here. We are going to have selected month here. Month is this we can make this like 9, make this like 10. I think we can do our formatting later, but here I'm going to change the name of this to total. Can change here. All right, there's something I also like to always do before starting my work, formatting my workbook. But let's just change. I want to use Tributet for this dashboard. I want to use Tributet for this dashboard. Everything I'm doing here, so I'm just going to change it here, and it changes here. All right, so great. I think this is too small. I'm going to change this to like let me change it to 20. If it's too big, you can always change that later. All right, so we also have a trend, which is this, so we can put this into text. Okay. There's a problem here, which is we did not aggregate what we have here. So we can go back, edit. This is this this minus this. And let's see. I think this was aggregated. Yeah, this has been aggregated. So let's find out where the exact problem is right here. Total is let's see that. Total cases. Okay. Pardon me, I'm actually on the road right now, so I'm doing a lot at the same time. Not supposed to be saying this, but it's not stopping anything. All right, so we have months minus this month. Let's see where the problem is coming from. Okay, for the 5, and then we are dividing by select month cases. And yeah, where exactly? Okay, we got that. So we can change this to 10, supposed to be in percentage. We can come here and change it to we're actually going to customize this. If you attended the first class, Golan actually some of the formatting. All right. So what is on the right hand side is actually pointing to negative values. What we have on the positive side is pointing to the positive value. So we can do some formatting here. Use some tape to format this. For what is going up, let me just pull this there, and then I can that here. I can pull this here. All right, great. And we can change the color here using sign. We're using sign of total cases div. Basically, what sign does is it changes, it gives, whenever you have a positive value, the value of 1. Whenever you have negative value, it gives the value of -1, and when it's 0, it gives 0. So that is what it's doing here. So it's going to help us think color we have here. So we can sign here, and it says 1 0. We can let's see this. Okay, great. We are on point. And all right, this is for this. Then we can now put our bar chart, our first bar chart, which is a total cases bar. This bar. We need to move fast to this bar. And here we are going to bring an open date here. we're going to change this into months. And for months, we're changing this into districts. It's changing into the district because we don't want it to be a continuous field. Then we can drag our number of tickets, our ticket number here. We can count. We need distinct count of ticket number for each of the months. That is what we're doing right here. And we prefer it to be bar. If you remember what we have here, I prefer this to be little, yeah, like this. Then I want to format this. I want to format the header. I'm customizing the header. So I prefer it to just be a month with 3 letters. I'm going to do MMM. And we have this. I don't need this. I can remove this. Most of this formatting we just be doing for the first one. We can really just copy and paste formatting later on. Remove this. And then some formatting here. I don't need many of these things. Remove zero lines, the grid lines, the axis ruler, the axis sticks, and I'll do the same thing for the columns. For the axis ruler, the axis sticks, and I can remove this as well. This is not needed. Okay, I don't need the typing. I can remove it too. So now this is on. We can also bring in our boolean here. Our boolean is going to help us copy this so that we can know the month that is being selected. So if I copy the boolean here, this is also color, but this is not the color we want. I already have some colors copied somewhere, so we are going to use them here. I'm going to come here. I want to change the colors of this. So I am going to bring the colors I have here. I'll bring it into Tableau. For the selected month, I'll use the color. All right. And for the previous month, I'll use a different color. So probably we won't need to be doing this for all the charts we build. This is just important for the first one we're working on. All right. So we have this. This is actually, distinguished all the months from the selected month. All right. We have let's format this. I want this to be at the back. This and on top. Okay. We have the first KPIs. Let's color our KPIs to know we've actually created the person. We can color those blue. All right. So the second one, we're going to create our what's it called? Our customer satisfaction score. That's the next KPI we are creating. And just easily, and KPI from each. We're just permanent CSAT. Okay, CSAT. If your month equals the boolean, then give us the CSAT. Give us the CSAT. All right. CSAT. And then since customer score we cannot sum customer score. We have to find the average of how customer rates are different agents. We are going to use an average here, right here, to have an average of customer score. All right, great. We have this already. And then for the previous month, we're going to duplicate this for the current month, rather. We're going to have selected month customer score. Instead of previous, here we're just going to have selected month. All right, great. And then we can put this into a canvas again and create numbers for customer satisfaction score. All right, so we have the selected month here. So let's just put DSAT. Why do I keep having problems spelling? we can bring this here, and then we can bring what we created to it. This one we can make 20. We can make 10. Then we want to change the formatting for this. Let's just make it like decimal. Sorry, not decimal. We can just give it just one, put in a one decimal. Okay, we can't do this because it's an Actus. We have to change it to pen. We come back, change the formatting to 1. Here we have 3.0. In order to even make it nicer, we can change it to like 10. Since this is over 5, we can divide like this and have 5.0, which is the total, so they can know it's the total. And this can be like this. And let's make this nicer. Let's give like 16. And then, yeah, like this. This looks okay. Now we can create the difference like we did for the total number of tickets. So we can do this. Do CSATD. We can have selected month CSAT minus previous month CSAT divided by previous month CSAT. Previous month CSAT. Let's put this in braces so that BODMAS can take its course, and then we can apply. And this is where we have it. We can drag it onto the screen, and then also change it to percentages. We can so instead of just going back and forth here, we can come and copy what we have here and reuse it. We can keep using it in in all of our visualizations. The formatting we use for here, we can reuse it here. So we can just copy this and use it for all the other stuff. So let me come back to CSAT, and then I'm going to come back to this and just delete this here. Right, so that's done that. And remember sign helps us change the color. I mean, it makes it very easy. You can just say CSAT and bring it here and then put it into color. Is that the sign? Yeah, and then put it into color. And yeah, then we can reformat this, realign it. We can realign this how we want it to be. Right, now, since this has been done, we can create a chart for CSAT as well. You can create a chart for CSAT. Remember, the first one we want to throw in open dates. The date it was open. We want to use months, quick months, and then we want to throw in the CSAT here. Okay, when you can use a bar, we want to change the select months. We don't need to change color again, so we created the color already. All right, let's do little formatting. If we need to do this, let's just copy what we have here. We can copy formatting and paste the formatting here. Formatting, CSAT bar. Let's just name this CSAT bar. And let's color this. Let's color this red. All right, so we are going to the next one. Can I take a break of 1 minute, please? I need to drink water. Thank you very much. Okay. Good one. All right, I'm back. Sorry. All right, so the next one we want to create, let's look at this one here. The next we are creating is let's create the first contact. All right, we're going back to Tableau and opening a new workspace. And then we are creating a new calculation. We can always create from what we already have. We can duplicate this again and duplicate this again and edit it. And we can call this first time contact, TC, is that correct? Selected month FCT. Selected month FCT. And go selected month is this, then give us first contact resolution. So that's first contact resolution. My spellings are terrible sometimes, sorry. All right, so this is going to be, we're going to sum this. Remember, if you remember, inside our this thing, our first contact resolution are booleans, they are ones and zeros. So we might not, counting might not actually work, but summing would actually be great because we can actually really sum the different ones and leave the zeros. If you're counting, it's going to count the zeros as well, right? So we are summing the first contact resolution. So if selected months is true, then give us first contact resolution. Great. We have this. Then we can also do the previous month first contact resolution, just like we did the other one. So we can go to edit, go to previous month, first contact resolution, and then instead of selected month, we're just gonna have previous month. You see, creating our booleans actually makes our calculation easy. Instead of having to do a lot of long calculations, we don't need to do that. So if previous month is true, it was first resolution. So this is for the previous month. And we have this again, then we can create the other one, which is the right. We can say first contact resolution. Then we can say select month first contact resolution minus previous month first contact resolution divided by previous month first contact resolution. Then wrap this as usual. And then voila, we're great. Start throwing those into the canvas as well. So the first one I want to throw into the canvas is month first contact resolution. Okay, first contact resolution. Okay, so we can throw in this. I want this to be 10. Don't worry, we can always come back to the formatting. So this is going to be selected month. Sorry, can you confirm you can hear me clearly, please? Can you hear me clearly? Go on. Can someone talk from there, please?
Yes, we can hear you. Absolutely.
All right, great. Thank you very much. So we have this. I prefer this to always be 20, which we're going to have here. And oh, what am I doing? So I'm going to bring this back in again. First contact resolution. I want it to be 20. And then, yeah, we have it. You can now bring the first contact resolution difference. We have the first contact resolution difference here. And then, as usual, we are going to format this into percentages. So come here, we already copied this into our keyboard. Oh, it's not copying. Oh my gosh. We're going to just have to, recopy this from here. Okay, and come back here. And then reuse it. Okay, having to reuse some of the things you created, and then we can just do our formatting again. And then this next thing is a sign as usual. We're creating a sign of first contact resolution div, and we're turning it into color. Now we've created 3 KPIs. We have 3 more to go. I think we're moving well. We are going to create the bar chart for this, just like the other one. We're going to call it first contact resolution bar. And then as usual, bring in our open date, make it discrete in months, convert it. So make it discrete, then we can bring in our first contact resolution here, bring it here, and then we can, like that, sum therefore, then we can make it a bar, bring the selected month into color, and then we are good. We can copy this again, copy our formatting here, and paste it here. All right, we don't need this. All right, so we've created 3 KPIs. We are going to the next KPI. We can color this yellow. Is this amber or yellow? Sorry, I'm not very good with color. All right, so we're going to the next one. The next one we're creating, let's check our Figma again and see. For Figma, the next one we're looking at average resolution time in minutes, all right? So next, we're going to select month, duplicate this so we can reuse this and just edit. If select the month is true, just give us first resolution time. We're also looking at the average resolution time here. We can use selected month resolution time. Okay, I think we're great. Selected month resolution time. Now we can go to your small selection resolution time, so we can edit it. And go to the edit and go to the previous month resolution time. And instead of selected month again, come on, this is looking boring now because it's just like you're doing the same thing over and over again. But I mean, it happens like sometimes. The dashboard is not the only fun part of it. Okay, so select month, give us resolution time, and give us the average. All right, and then we can do the difference again. So resolution time. We can go to selected month, resolution time, and also month resolution time. We select them on resolution time, and then previous month resolution time. Then we can pull this in browser as usual, and then yeah, I think we're good. And then we can bring this in here. We can bring a resolution time, select the month resolution time right here, so that we can reuse it. Sorry, let me rename this to average resolution time. So we can bring this right here. We have select more resolution time. We want this to be 20. We want this to be 10. Right. And then we can just, change this. Pull this up. And then as usual, format this to make it percentage. I hope this is still in my clipboard. Okay, so I understand why it's on my clipboard because I've been copying and pasting some formattings rather. That's the reason it's not in. So I can recopy this and then bring it back here and then apply. All right, great. So the last thing we keep doing is the sign, which is the sign of our resolution time. And then we're turning this into color. Okay. And then the next thing we want to create is a bar chart for resolution time. So we call this the resolution time bar. Resolution time bar. And then the open dates, and then the resolution time. We have the resolution time here. And then we can just look for the average of the resolution time. We're changing this into months, discrete months. And then changing it to bar. And then as usual, a selected month for us to know which month is being selected. You know what? We're just going to come back here. So what I selected can remain in my clipboard. And I'm going to color this brown. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 KPIs. We have 2 more KPIs to go. Golam, I don't know. Are there any questions that I can answer before I proceed?
You can continue for the next 5 minutes. Let me see if there are questions.
All right, great. All right, so the next KPI we are creating is the reopen rate and the reopen ticket. So we want to know the tickets that have high and low reopen rate and the tickets that have been reopened and how many tickets were reopened in certain months. All right, so that's the next thing we are creating. I'm going to open the next one. We're going to call this reopen. Reopen. Then select one. We are going to duplicate this and just edit. This is the selected month reopen. Yeah, reopen. And then if selected month, then give us reopen. Reopen. Okay. So this again is going to be a sum. Yeah, we're great. This is for the selected month, and we go to the previous month. So we're going to duplicate this as usual. Then edit, and we're going to have previous month reopen. And change it to previous month as our boolean. If this is true, give us reopen. Great. And again, we do our difference, which is going to be reopen date. It's going to be selected month reopen minus previous month reopen divided by previous month reopen. And then as usual, pull this in braces. And then we're good. You can fill this into text. So reopen selected month into here, and then we can reuse it here. Select some more reopen. Again, we want this to be 20, so we want this to be consistent with the other ones. And then, yeah, and we can come here to format this, make a percentage. And then we can use the sign again. Sign of reopen div. We change this into color. And then we can change the alignment, left align, and set it up. Great. This is reopen now. We have the reopen bar. Reopen bar again, the open date, make it discrete month. Make it a bar. And then we are looking at the reopen. This is the reopen, so we're bringing it right here. And then the select month can be in the color. All right, great. We are almost there. Almost done with creating all of our KPIs actually. Then we can color this purple. Now we're going to create a final KPI, which is a 60 KPI. So this is going to be reopen rate. So the reopen rate is the number of reopen tickets divided by the total number of tickets. That's what we are creating next. So we are just going to, reuse this, duplicate this, edit. We're going to call this select amount reopen rate. This is going to be the number of tickets reopened in this month divided by the total number of tickets in the select month. I mean, we've created these two calculations already. The next calculation is select month total cases, right? This is what we are doing right here. We have the selected month open rate. And for the previous month open rate, let's find the open rate. Okay. So we're just going to, we don't need to duplicate this actually. Let's just create a new one. We're just going to have previous month open rate. And right here, we're going to say, previous month, the open ticket divided by select previous month total cases. All right, this is a previous month reopen ticket. And great, we can now find the difference in reopen rate. We have reopen rate div. And here we can say selected month reopen rate minus previous month reopen rate. Open rate. This should be reopen rate. My bad. In that later divided by previous month reopen rate. Remember we put this in braces because of board mass and with those before it comes here. And yeah, we almost have all of our KPIs, so we can say reopen rate, and then we can bring in a selected month reopen rate. Select month reopen rate. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's not, I've not shown that in details. That's why we can't use that here. So we can reopen rate. We have the select month reopen rate and show it here. We can reference it right here. So we can use the open rate here. We want this to be 20, we want this to be 10. And then voila, we have this. To be in percentage because it's a rate. We can change it to percentage, probably just one decimal. All right. Then we also want the div. We reopen div, we put this in text. And then remember, we do some formatting to change it to full decimal. We already have it in our clipboard. We write a sign, and our sign do the most. I mean, it does the most. All right, so we can use our reopen rate div, and then put this into color. I want to be sure we've not made any mistake here. Okay, we're great. Okay, so we can again do this, put it at the back, and basically just changing the alignment. All right. So we've done with creating all of our. Okay, sorry, we still need to create the bar. Reopen, rate bar. Okay, so we have the reopen rates. Okay, so we still need to create one more calculation, which is actually the reopen rate, which we are going to use to create our bar. All right, so right now we have the reopen rates. Sorry, selected more reopen rates, just more reopen rates, but we do not have just the reopen rates that identifies the reopen rate for each of the months. If you understand what I'm trying to say, because we actually need we need to see the reopen rate for each of the months, which is something we can't create right now because we don't have a particular calculation that shows the reopen rate. So we are going to create a calculation of reopen rate. Just like we know, our reopen rate is reopen divided by sum of reopen divided by count listing of all the ticket numbers. So this gives us a reopen rate, and we can, use this in our. We can use open date. Okay, and then make this a month. Make this bit, and then as usual, make this a bar. So we can always drag in a select month to change the color. All right, so we've done well in creating all of our KPIs. We can color those green. Okay, so let's go back to Figma and see the next thing. So we've created this. I think the next complex thing that might actually take a little time is the table. So let's go and create a table. So let's go ahead to create our table. This is how we want our table to look. We want our table to have the table title. We are going to have some figures right here that are going to show the different tickets and their priority, and then we are going to have a table down here. So let's go back to Tableau to create our table. Let's just name this table. All right. So before now, some of the facilitators have actually discussed how to use placeholders. When you're using sum of one, sum of zeros, just for you to have a measure that is going to give you something like an axis where you can throw in some particular dimensions. So we need to first identify the things we need inside the things we need for what's it called? We need for our table. So for our table, we need ticket number because we want to actually have more information about our ticket. We need ticket number, we need agent's name, we need case category, we need status, and we need resolution time. So let's say our stakeholders are interested in seeing the resolution time of each of the tickets. All right. Now let's create that. All right, so we can start by using the sum of zero. The sum of zero is actually giving us an axis right here. All right, but now we want to change the level of detail of our table because what we are interested in seeing is information about respective tickets, all of the tickets or all the cases that were open. We're going to throw ticket number to our view. This is going to change the level of detail, right? So this has broken down our dimension into different tickets. Great. This is what we want to see. We can actually hide this later, but then it's needed at this point. And so we have the sum of zero, and like I mentioned, we need the ticket number. So we're going to bring in ticket number to our view. We bring it into text. I prefer this to be a circle. I just want to. I don't need that. So I don't need borders around it. I don't need this zero. Sorry, I don't need the circle. This is what I need. All right. This has been created. I can hide this dimension since I have another dimension right here. So we've created the first placeholder, the second placeholder. The second placeholder is going to be holding the name of each of the agents. All right, so we can come here. This is not what we need. We need the agent name. So we're going to throw in agent name here. All right. Next one, another sum of zero. We can always come back to also, change this depending on how we want our table to look. All right. So for the third one, we need the category of cases. We can click on this, so it takes us to the mark where this belongs. We can bring in case category to the label. All right, so we have case category here. Next one is going to be, so the next one wants to see status of the ticket. Is the ticket still open? Is it closed or it's on hold? That is basically what this is doing. But for this, we don't want to just throw in status to cycle like the other ones. I would like to actually, have a better look, have to have a color that actually gives a cue, a color that gives cue so that when you're looking at your table, you can easily identify that, oh, this is closed. When you see a particular color, this is closed. When you see a particular color, this is on hold, and a particular color, this is still open. So instead of circle, we're going to use shape. All right, I already have a shape downloaded in my Tableau file, in my Tableau repo file. I'm just going to select those shape. It's my custom. All right, taking a while to load. All right, so this is the shape we are going to use here. I'm going to apply and I'm going to say okay. All right, I'm going to increase the size of the shape. I'm going to increase the color. I'm going to increase the saturation of opacity. I'm going to make it more opaque. Increase the size a little more. Okay. And then I'm going to just I'm going to change the alignment of my text and put right. Right. So the text are not showing because it's overlapping some shapes. I'm going to just allow labels to show even when, sorry, we are going to change menu. We're going to reformat the table, but I mean, with the way it is, just let's take it and continue. Finally, we need to see resolution time. All right. So we have the measure, which is resolution time. We can drag that here. And we have our resolution time. This we are going to change to a bar chart. We want it to be a bar chart. We are going to change the color, the opacity. We are going to change the saturation and then change the size. Okay. Now let's come back to changes. Let's do some formatting to our table. We can give our table a row padding. Let's give our table a row padding, probably this. Okay. Let's remove some unnecessary elements from our table. Our table looks very, very decluttered. We don't want that to look like that. We want a clean table, you know. So we can go to our customs, remove grid lines, remove zero lines. All these are unnecessary. At least to this table, they are very unnecessary. For this as well, remove this. We can remove our headers. The table looks a bit okay. We can come to change. I prefer this table to actually have smaller text. Can make it 8. We can always come back to changes though. Let's make this 8. Yeah, I think this looks okay. And the color, the saturation, we can change this. We can always come back to like I said. Okay, so we have what's happening here. Okay. Let's change the color of this. So right here now we want to give this different colors. I mean, our what's it called? The shape right here. We want to give it different colors. So mainly looking at our table, we can easily identify we can use the colors to actually identify the status of the different tickets. All right. So what we're going to do, we are going to go to color. Right. We are first going to put our status into color. It gives different color to our status, but I mean this color doesn't look very nice. So we might have to change this color. Like I said, I already have some colors copied somewhere, so I am going to, bring it back here. For closed, we are going to use this color. For on hold, we are going to use a different color. We're going to use this color for hold. And for cats that still open, we are using a different color. Sorry, we're using a different color here. And then okay. We can increase the size a little. Okay. Okay. I think this looks. I mean, we can always come back to make changes, like I mentioned. Come here. Text. I want this to be 8. Okay. All right. So we've created our table. We can always come back to the table, but for now, the table is created. The next thing we want to create is this on the side. We have those names of different agents of the side. So the idea behind this is we want to click on the name of an agent and it changes, this card. It changes the table and everything we have here. So that's the next thing we're doing. We're coming here. We're opening a new sheet and we call it agent list. Agent list. what we want to do here, we want to bring this here. We have the names of different agents, and then we want to use, what's it called? We want to use a shape to actually, what's it called? Select different agents. So like I said, we're going to use another placeholder right here. That's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. We are going to use, let me use sum of 0. Use sum of 0 here, and then again, I'm going to throw in agent name label. Have different agent name here. So instead of this, we're using shape. So remember, at a point we created an agent name parameter, but we've not created the boolean. So we're creating another boolean that says, let's call it agent boolean. It says that agent name equals to a parameter agent name. All right, so this boolean is going to help us select. It's going to show us the different things, change the different shapes we have here. So we can just throw this into shapes. See, this has changed. This has changed because if you show this agent parameter right here, we have Daniel Harris selected. That's the reason Daniel Harris is square and the other ones are 0. Now, if I select David Lee right here, it changes to David Lee. I mean, David Lee is now a square. I mean, that is the technique. We can hide this, but now what we want to do right here is we want to change the shapes we have, right here. We want to change sorry, pardon me. We want to change shapes that we have right here. But something here is I don't like this at the middle. I want to change the placeholder here. I would prefer it to be like minus 0.1 or something so that it can press to the back. Want to do like can you see my screen, please? Let me use a minimum of 0.1. Move to the back. But now please confirm you can see my screen and I'm very audible. Okay, I will assume I am audible. All right, so I'm going to hide this. And we are going to change the shape. I already have some shapes. Sorry, but now if you are in, can you just let me know if you can hear me? Okay, all right. All right, thanks. I can see from the chat. All right, great. I already have some shapes downloaded. I'm going to go to my shapes folder again. And for agent that's selected, I'm going to change the shape to this. And agent that not selected, I'll change the shape to this. And then we can change the size of the shape a little bit. Okay, all right, great. So now we can test this out. Let me select this. It changes. All right. We're on our way. We can always come back to reformat this. I just want us to build everything we need for this to work. All right. The next thing we are building is the agent profile. All right. So if you come back here, you see something here, shows the profile of the agent, shows the agent name and the type of agent it is and the agent's head. All right. So that's the next thing we're actually building right here. We come back here. We come back here and select a new this. We are going to use minimum minus 0.1. Right, so we want to see different agent's name. I want to bring the agent here, pardon me. And this is going to be a shape. This is going to be a shape. And this shape, I already have some agents downloaded. I mean, a hypothetical agent. I call that user profile. This is just going to assign different shapes to different agents. All right, I'm going to throw agent into shapes. Let's do that again. You can assign different to different agents. So I'm just going to randomly. It doesn't matter if the head of a woman is attached to a man. That's not the important thing right here. And I can make this entire view. Change the height. Okay. Okay, great. And we have the agent name. Another thing we need is the agent type. We can drag that as well. And then we can just do some basic formatting. We can left align, apply, and see. All right, I want the name of the agent to be like 11. And the agent type to, let me say, I want this to be like 9 or something. I can make this italic and probably just change the color a little bit, make the left saturated. Okay. All right. So now I want to just show an agent at a time. We are going to use our agent boolean to do this. So agent bool, we are just going to throw this into filters. I want it true so that the agent I selected is what shows here, which is great. We can change some, we can do some formatting here, like change the color of the agent. I already have a color here. Let me just copy that. It's the color we've used before. Bar. We just have consistent color across our dashboard. All right, so I'm going to bring this here. All right, so you're almost done with our different charts. All right, we can call this agent profile. What else do we need to build? I think we are done with everything we need to build. We just need to do some basic formatting. Our table, I think we'll prefer our table to, look the same way, the other, this thing looks. So, we are going to do some basic to our table. All right, prefer this to just minimum. Sorry, minimum of minus 0.1. I want this to go to the back a little bit. Minus 0.1. Probably make this one go back a little bit as well. Minus 0.1. Oh, let me just make it consistent and make it a minimum of minus 0.1. Okay. I can make this maybe just 0.1. Get to the front a little bit. So this are just, some basic. Okay, I think I can leave this as 0. If we need to change anything, we can always come back. Okay. I would prefer this to look a little bit smaller and then change the color a little bit, the saturation. Okay, our bar chart looks like it has some borders. We don't want our bar chart to have borders. Okay, it doesn't have borders. All right, great. I think our table looked neat now. Looking at agent list, this looks neat. Looking at agent profile, this looks neat. Now let's look at Figma. Do you have something else we've not built? Okay, so we still have this, which is the last thing. This is just a set of measures and then the priority of the ticket. So let's just do that. That's the last thing we're doing. Name this ticket priority. And then we're just going to throw in priority into columns and make this entire view. And then into the text, we're going to put in ticket number. We're going to count ticket number per what's it called? Priority list, which is going to be count the thing. And then we're going to you can just control drag into text. And we format right here. We can make this 8 and make this 10. What am I doing? Just make this 10. And yeah, I think this looks great. We can hide it. We don't need those. Does this look okay? We can always make changes like I mentioned. All right, so everything is ready. We can go ahead to start building our dashboard. But before we start building our dashboard, we can just go over all the charts we've created. All the KPIs we've created. This we actually don't need this because this is basically we don't need the names of the months below this part because we already know that these are months from January to December. And we always have to select months. We can only see the months that I selected. Basically, what we are looking at here is trend. How has the trend been over time? This is what we need here. We can copy the formatting and just apply to the rest. We don't need this. We don't need this. Just doing our final formatting before we start building a dashboard. We don't need this. Oh, let's go. This, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Then here, we don't need this. We don't need this. Okay, and one other thing I want us to do for our bar chart is to apply average lines. We can just quickly do that. So we are applying average lines of our bars. So we can just edit our average line. make it dotted line, make it this, use this, and then your label, we're using a custom label, custom labeling, and just using AVG. All right, I think this line is too light. We can change the saturation of the line here. We can just use this. All right. For that, we go to the next one. Bring in average line. Let me pick formatting, so that goes. Let's bring in average line for this as well. We edit it, give it this, and change the custom. I always say, dashboarding, I mean, creating a dashboard is like the easiest thing you actually create. I mean, most of the work comes before the dashboard creation. You're going to want to do a lot of formatting in your chart to make your calculation correct and what's not, which are the most important thing. You could create the most beautiful dashboard and it's not non-functional. I mean, you create a dashboard that no one is even getting to use. All right, so we can also bring the average line into this. We can edit this just like the others. Right? And make this like this. Okay. Use average for this. Let's just do that for the remaining three. I'll make this faster, promise. All right, and then average. I think we have about 40 minutes or thereabout. This, use this. All right, then the second to the last one, we're bringing the average line. We edit this. We change this, change this, change this. Increase opacity. We custom this and make it AVG, just to represent average. And then finally, the last one, we're bringing an average line. We edit this, increase the opacity, reduce the saturation, we use dotted lines, we reduce the size of the lines, and then right here, we custom it and just use AVG to represent average. All right, very good. So now, with this done, we can now start building. We have all the components of our dashboard. We can now go to the dashboard and start building. So we are going to open a dashboard here, and then get on to building. So before we start our dashboard, like Idris said the last time, this guy right here is a criminal. You always want to remove it. If you don't have plans of creating a dashboard that fits for phone, I mean for mobile, then you should actually remove this, because if you don't remove it, whoever is viewing your dashboard with your mobile is going to have a very, very poor view, distorted view of your dashboard. So you want to delete the phone layout. Our dashboard, we are going to be using a size of 1,300. We're going to be using a size of 1,300 by 700. 1,000, let me just use 1,320. So that, because we're going to be using some padding by 700. Right? So this is going to be the size of our dashboard. Then the next thing I want to throw in is I want to throw in our first container. I want our first container to be an horizontal container. I just drag it in, and I want it to have the same size as our dashboard. All right, just to may have the same and Y, and we're going to have 1,320 and then 700. All right, that's where we start from. All right, creating my dashboard, I always like to start with putting blanks into my dashboard. It helps to actually help you align your containers very well. All right, I'm going to show you why I'm saying that. So the first thing I want to do right here is throw in a blank into my dashboard. I have a blank inside my dashboard. For me to easily identify my blanks, I love to color my blank. I want to just give my blank the color so that I can easily identify that I have a blank on my view. I know where my blank is. All right, so this is my blank. And then the first thing, remember right here, we have a panel right here. Then we have the other ones on the right. So we're going to have a panel and then the other ones. So I'm going to go back to dashboard. I'm going to put in our panel. Our panel is going to be vertical right here. This is our panel right here. And then on the right, we are going to have, let me just lock in our panel so we can fix the width here so it doesn't move. All right. This can move. I'm going to throw in on the other side. I also want a vertical container. So I'm throwing a vertical container right here. This is the other vertical container. Remember, we still have our blank right here. I'm going to do the blank later. All right. So we want to have, this is a vertical, which means you can layer different objects from top to down, all right? Just like we can see from the prototype. The first thing we want to have from the top, the title. You can easily drag a text. Before that, remember, I always have to have blank. I'm putting another blank. I'm putting another blank into this view. All right, I'm putting another blank. I'm coloring the blank again so that I know where my blank is. Right, so I can put in the text. Let me throw the text up here. Let me copy the text I have inside my Figma. This is the text I have inside Figma. I can copy this and bring it to Tableau. I have the text right here in Tableau. I can just change. This is supposed to be tribute text. Let me change it to like let me change it to 9. Okay, it's 9 already. I can change it to, let me say 13. Okay, to 13. This should be 9 as well. Okay, let me change the color so that we can have a very good color hierarchy. Let me change to this. Change this to this as well. And let's see how that looks. Okay, I think that looks okay. We can also change, the padding. The padding, we can use a 10 out. We can use a 10 out padding. That is away from the wall. We can use a 10 here. We can use a 20 from the top. 20 from the top, and yeah, we can leave the rest. All right, this is done. We can lock it and then bring in the next item into the view. So the next item in the view, remember what we have right here on our Figma is this right here, so that we can easily identify our different what's it called, our different agents. So where's that? We have agent profile. That's the next. So we can drag in the agent profile right here. All right, we can drag that down. We can, yeah, let's remove this. We don't need this. Okay, we can drag this down. Drag it down a little bit, maybe. I need to change to increase the size of the agent's head. Increase the size of the agent head. We can always come back. This needs a padding because we want to shift the agent towards the left. So let's try some padding right here. Let me use like maybe 400 and see. Let me use like 450. Let me use like 500 actually. Okay, all right. This looks okay. This looks okay. And then the next thing we can bring in our table. Before our table, we need another container right here. This is like the complex part of this because we need 2 containers down here. The first container is going to be here, which is going to like have the 6 different KPIs, and we're going to have our table on the right side. All right, that's basically what we're doing right here. So we want to bring in horizontal containers right here down. That's the first thing we want to do. But before that, let me lock this in so it doesn't switch. All right, so I'm going to bring in a horizontal container down here. I'm going to do this up. All right, and probably remove this. I don't think we need that anymore. Okay, so we have horizontal container now. It's now time to put my blank inside this horizontal container that we just brought in. So I'm putting my blank in. I'm coloring my blank as we've been doing. All right. So on the left side of the blank is where we are going to have our KPIs, all of our KPIs. So right here, we are going to have horizontal. We're going to have horizontals here. We're going to have horizontal. So I've thrown in an horizontal container inside here because we want to have layered layered KPIs from top to bottom. We are going to have 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom. So we're having vertical container pattern. We are going to have vertical container. All right. So to start that again, we are training a blank inside here. We're training a blank inside here. And then on the top, we are training a vertical container. So we're going to color this blank just for us to know all the places we have a blank. All right. I mean, I just like to do it, makes my work easy. Right here, we have different blanks and we can start training our different containers. So we want to have different KPIs. This is going to be the first KPI. All right. KPI is the number of the total cases. We're going to throw in the total cases. sorry. Let me put in all of our, you know what? Let me just put another blank here. Right? Okay, so we're going to throw in another blank here. We're going to throw in another blank here. I'm never tired of using blank. I'm going to throw in another blank here and then color it. And just give it this color. And then we can throw in the first vertical container. This is the first KPI we are going to be working with. Right? Which is the total cases. And then title. Okay, we need the title. And then down we have the total cases bar. We don't need the title. All right, that's the first KPI. And we are going to, let's make this full entire view. Okay, right, that's the first one. Then the second one is let's make this customer satisfaction score. But then we are going to need to throw in another vertical again. This is going to be customer satisfaction score. And down we're going to throw in the bar. Right, we are going to make it fill entire view. All right, and take away the title, we don't need it. And finally, the last one here is going to be first contact resolution and then first contact resolution bar. This is going to be full screen, entire screen. And then we can remove this, then it spreads out. We don't need this. All right, we created this, we can distribute evenly so that we have the same size of different, cards inside this horizontal container. So we can distribute evenly, and then we can start doing other things later. Then let's come to the one down. The one down as well, we start with another vertical. Okay, so we have we're going to put another vertical down. All right, we put in another vertical down. Another vertical down here, and then we can remove this. We don't need this anymore. Then we can bring in another blank inside here. We put in another blank inside there. Then let's call our blank as 0, and then start bringing an horizontal container side. All right, so the first one we bring in here is average resolution time, and then the average resolution bar. We don't need this. Hide. Okay, and make this entire view. So the next one again, we throw this in. That's a reopen, and then the reopen bar. Okay, we can remove this. We don't need it. And then the final one here is a reopen rate. That's a reopen rate, and then reopen rate bar. And then guess what? The entire view, and then we remove this. Okay, so we can remove this. We don't need this bar anymore. And then, like we did for the one at the top, we distribute only. All right. So we have our KPIs up, we have our KPIs down. We have those. Now we can work on our table. That's the final thing we are doing at this end. So we can bring in our table into the mix. So okay, for our table, we also need a vertical. Remember, this is a blank that belongs to this total horizontal. So we're going to bring in a vertical right here. All right. Bring in a vertical here, we can increase it. All right, then we bring in the first one we want to bring in is a title. Before that, we can just, as usual, put a blank inside it. Put a blank inside it. Okay, let's just remove this blank. Here's this. We have this right here. Okay, so we are throwing a blank again inside of this. We're throwing a blank inside of this, and then we can throw a text. That's the text, which is the title of the table. Remember, we have a text here, so we can copy this text again and we use it inside of Tableau. All right, so we can make this 7. Make this 7 and change the saturation. Change the saturation to this. We can make this like 9. It's 9 already, and we can change them to tributary. All right. We can do other things later. The next thing we want to bring into it is our ticket priority, which is this. Yeah. And then below it, we can bring in our table. Don't worry, we're going to do other formatting later. We can entire view for our table. What's that? Okay. And that's the reason I like to color my blanks, all right? So this is my blank. So let me in my table. I like to color my blank so that I know where exactly my blank is sitting. So I can remove my blank and I can have my table in full stretch. I can move the title of this table. Not very important. Right, so we are almost there. And one thing I want to do is our dashboard actually doesn't have a background color. I want to change the background color of our dashboard, which is very important. It makes our dashboard pop. In order to select the entire dashboard background, which was the first item you actually threw inside the dashboard, you can just double click all of the handles. Now you can see that all of it has been selected. You can come to layout. This change the color, right? I'm going to put the color right here. The dashboard background is going to be this. Okay, so this is what our dashboard background is going to look like. And then we're going to start removing the background of each of our charts because, like for instance, this one has a white background from inside the chart itself, from inside the worksheet. So it's not making the background of the real dashboard actually pop out here. So we're going to have to remove this from the sheet. We are removing the background from here. We're removing all of this background. 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 We're doing that for all of the sheets we created in the table, right? Including this. Yeah. Okay. Yes. It looks like a repetitive action, and I can tell how boring it could actually be. But yeah, we're creating something very nice. Just watch till the end, and then we can remove all of this. Okay, and then we can color each of our cards. So we can identify each of our cards. We can color each of our cards white to make them white. Make one white. Make this white. Make this white. Make this white. And then we make this white. And then we can use inner padding for them. For this, we can use inner padding of, let me say 5. Sorry, yeah, 5. Use inner padding of 5 for our cards. Inner padding of 5 for our cards. Basically, the inner padding, I don't want it to fall to the wall, to the left, or too much to the top. That's the reason I'm applying inner padding. All right. Inner padding, and then finally inner padding. All right. So I'm just going to make this fix the entire screen. I'm going to make this fix the entire screen, and then for this, I'm going to also use let me use inner padding of 10 for this. Let me use inner padding of 10. What we'll be doing mostly at this point is some formatting to make this look very nice. I can as well change the height, probably 100. Change the height to 100. Change the height of this to 100. Change the height of this to 100. All right, so these are just, basic designing, maybe not very basic, but yeah, most of what I'm doing at this point, we've created created some sheets. So right here, we just want to ensure that, you know, they have very good user interface. 10, and then make the height 100. This, we can make the height of this 100, and then the inner padding make it 10. Okay, then finally this, we do inner padding of 10 and make the height 100. Okay. Now, since the top KPIs down and the KPIs at the top are inside the same containers, we can also distribute them evenly. Come here and distribute them evenly. We can distribute them evenly, and we can also apply outer padding that they don't. I mean, they stay far from each other. I mean, they have space. We call them white spaces. All right, so they have some white spaces. We can give them white spaces. That's outer padding of 5. Let's give them all around. Okay, outer padding of 5. 5. Make it 5. And finally, we make this 5. Finally, we make this 5. All right, so this actually looks better than the way they were when, I mean, they were all together. Our table, let's come back to our table and work on our table. Let's give our table a background color of white, like this, to make it consistent across board. All right, so we're giving our table a background color of white, which we have right here. And we can also give our table a padding of 5. Padding of 5. Yeah. Okay, so what else? Yeah, we can use an inner we can always come back to this. Let's make our table fit entire view. I think that can work. We're just gonna make it fixed width. Pardon me. So we're gonna make our table fixed width. And since the table and all our KPIs are inside the same container, we can also distribute them evenly. We can distribute the content evenly. Okay, so that, I mean, they look nicer this way. Our table needs headers. We need to give our tables headers, so we can bring in some verticals at the top of our table. At the top of our table, then bring in some blanks, so that we can, name the different fields in our table, right? Remember, I always love to color my blank. So let me just give this a color. All right. So to the left, we have the ticket number. To the left, we have our ticket number. Come on, what's wrong? To the left, we have our ticket number. The ticket number, we put it right here. I prefer this to be 8. I this to be 6. Okay. Next, we have agent name. So let me just increase this to make it. So we have agent name. Can just drag it into it. Whoa. You know what? Could be hard to actually throw in something when the container is small. So let's just increase the size of the container a little bit so that we can easily throw in, throw in objects into the container. All right. So we can have agent name here. I use the same formatting. Yeah. And then the next one is category. Category. Make this date. And then finally, we have resolution time in minutes. So we can fill this in for the resolution time. Make it a minute. Make it 8. And then make it. Right. Now we can just do this way. Yeah. Let's change the height of this. Let's change the height to about 20 and fix it. because that doesn't need to be too big. So we need to 20. Yeah, fix it. Then we can drag our table down a little bit. We can drag this to align them. Drag this to the box, align them. And this indicator. All right, and you can always come back to the table and every other thing. All right, so right here, as you're throwing different objects into our dashboard, these things were coming up. These were different, different things, many, these are different things that many of this worksheet actually depends on, like status color belongs to the table and whatnot. So we don't really need this, and so we're going to be removing them. We're going to be removing them. We're going to be removing them, all of them. Now we can start working here. Okay, remove this. Remove this. Remove this. But once you get to the last one, you don't want to remove it like that, because if you remove it, it's going to actually remove the entire container you have here. So instead of removing or closing, instead of closing it that way, you're just going to float it. Once you float it, then you can remove it. Right, great. This blank as well, we don't need it anymore, so we can remove it. I don't know where this comes from. The marks we have here. Well, that's by the way. All right, so we can now start working on the left panel. Right, so the first thing we want to throw in a blank. I want to throw in a blank right here. Let's call our blank. As usual, our strategy. Let's call our blank, and then we want to throw in a text. Right, I think I have a chart. Sorry, people are notating, please. Yeah, I can see. I don't know what those things are. All right. So we can the chart's name. Sorry, the dashboard logo. We have this thing. I have this thing here that looks like a dashboard logo. I can just copy from here and paste into right here. Sure. Let me use 5. I think 5 will look nice. Yeah, so I can change the color. I can make it pop a little bit more. This blue. Okay. Okay. So that's that. I can style it better, give it a padding of like 25 to the back, put this away from the wall, and give like probably 10 from up. 10 from up, maybe 10 on the other side as well. And 10 on the other side. Then I can put it down a little bit. Let me make it bold. All right, that is that. And then what do we need? The next thing is we need some filters, all right? All the filters we need inside all of our dashboard, all right? I'm going to bring the filters out. I've not applied filters to our dashboard, so I'm going to just go back to one of our worksheet and start applying filters. So one of the filters, or the filters we need is, we need what's it called? We need, let me see, what filters do we need right here? We need the agent name. We already have the agent name, but we also we are going to need the status of the ticket. We are going to need the ticket priority and yeah, the agent name. We're going to need the status of the tickets, the ticket priority, and the agent name. The first one we want to drag is agent status. All right, so we want this to, let's select it all. All right, so we are going to make this apply to all of the dashboard, the ticket status. So applying this to all selected worksheets. Okay, let's just apply to selected worksheets now. Apply to all selected worksheets for now. Okay. We are going to apply the Boolean for agents, all right? So the Boolean for agents, so that each agent that is selected actually affects all the cards or all the items we have in the dashboard. This is true. Then the final thing we need to filter by ticket priority. Yeah, we have ticket priority right here. So we can all, okay. And then we can also apply this to all of the view. Sorry, selected worksheets, we can control this later. All of the sheets, we can control this later. All right, so this has been this also applies to all of the sheets. Selected worksheet, rather. Okay. All right. All right, so we can go back to the dashboard. Okay, all right, so this has applied. So we're back to the dashboard and start training the different these things. But before that, I would like to actually I'd like to have a blank after this. After this, let me give you like a 30 side, a height of 50. Let me make it 32. And I can train an horizontal container, a vertical container, pardon me. I can train a vertical container. Vertical container is actually going to house all of our, what's it called? It's going to house all of our filters and house our filters and what's it called? Our filters and parameters, priority. And then finally, we need the parameter of get name. Okay, so we're going to change the look of this. We're going to call this how we want it to look. We want it to be a drop down. So that's what I'm doing basically. Format, sorry. We want them to look this way. We are running out of time. We're almost done though. We are changing this to drop down. Okay, great. We can always come back here. This we can give it an inner padding of like 10. The side here. And then take away the outer padding of this one. We don't need outer padding here so that the labels can actually be at the top. We don't need outer padding, so we can add inner padding. Okay. Right. We can give them inner paddings of like 20 on either side. I mean, each of those, we can give them inner padding of like 20. Okay, this looks better. 20. And use like 20. And then finally, this give inner padding of 20 and 20. 20. And then here we have 20. All right, this looks great. We can change the names. All right, status. I think the status we can just change the saturation. Do the same thing for here. Shape priority. Change the size. The saturation. This this agent name. Agent name. Do we need agent name here? We don't need agent name here actually. Because we are going to be filtering based on the agent that done. So let's just leave the way it is. All right. The final thing we are bringing into the view is the agent list. All right, that's the final thing we bring into the view. So before that, let's also bring another what's it called? Another blank here. All right, we're going to give it the same size as this. Let's make it like 32. 32 already. Tableau is very smart. All right, so I'm going to bring in the agent list down here. I don't need this anymore. So I'm going to remove this blank. I'm going to remove this. Agent list, what's happening here? Okay, now this is the problem. Agent Boolean shouldn't be selected. So I'm going to remove it. So we can have the list of all of our agents. Great. I'm going to come back here. Edit this. Give it like give it 8. Make it less saturated. This. Okay, probably change the size of this a little. Let's go. Let's see the look. Let's remove background of the chart itself. We don't need all of this. We don't need it. All right, so we can now give this, we can give this an outer padding as well. Probably an outer padding of to the back, maybe give it like 15, so that pushes away from the wall. it away from the wall. And then down here as well, so that I put this away from down here. Up from down here. I think it looks better. We can remove it. Category. Right here, we don't have status. We're going to have to actually put status inside here. Going back to our table. We're going to extend this. Sorry. Make this a little bigger so that we can remember. If you don't make it bigger, it might be actually hard to throw any item into it. And just bring in the text. This is status. Status. This is going to be 8 and make it 6. All right, we are almost there. And then we can reduce our height to 20 and drag this up. For here, we won't need this to be filtered by priority. All right, just rather be selected be filtered by agent name. Here we can put in some formatting around here. We can make this height, we can make it about 50. We can maybe make it about 50. Yeah. Right. For padding, we can give you some padding. Let's use some outer padding. 10 at the top, 10 at the bottom, 4 on the side are okay. Like this. Okay, this can we can move this away from the wall, so we can give it an inner padding. We can give it an inner padding of like 20. Maybe 50. Okay. And inside the chart, we need to do some formatting, remove the grid lines, and you can see looks the clutter. It has some lines inside of it. We don't need those lines to actually show. So we can remove all the zero lines, grid lines, and whatnot. All right, arithmetic and all of that. All right, great. This looks better. And take this away from the wall. All right, so we have this. Our dashboard is almost ready. But now, right now, if you select this, if you select our agent, it's not working. We need to make that work. We need to actually make this come alive. How do we make that come alive? Now, we call something actions. It's actually my favorite Tableau functionality, right? Which is it's going to make us select this, and making the selection actually affect everything we have here. All right, so create an action. You come to dashboard, because dashboard view, we're going to come to action. And then we are going to go to add action. We are adding a parameter action because we want this to show the parameter we created. Remember, we created an agent name parameter. All right, so we want that parameter we want this to control the parameter. So we're going to call this change parameter action. Right, we're just going to call this a change parameter. Change event param. Okay, and it's going to affect the dashboard. It's going to affect everything on this dashboard. Right, and then the source sheet is we're going to select the source sheet. Let's first unselect all of this. Source sheet is agent list. The parameter I want to target is agent parameter, agent name parameter. All right, the source field, agent name. All right, so this is saying once we clear the selection, what will happen? We want it to put the current selection. All right, we are great, and then we are good. So now if you click on this, we want everything right here to change, and you can see it's actually changing. Everything right here is actually changing. But now we actually have one problem. You can see when it changes, these entire names are selected. We don't want it to look like this. We don't want it to look like this. So there's something we're going to do. We're going to go back to our sheet. We're going to create a calculation. We're going to call it dummy. It's just going to be an empty string. It's going to be an empty string. We're going to write OK. And then we are going to bring it into detail. And then we go back to the dashboard. We create another parameter, another action. It's going to be an highlight action. Right, because we don't want it to highlight. Instead of highlighting this particular worksheet, we just want it to highlight a particular part of the worksheet. So we're going to call it H, which stands for highlight action, highlight agent list. The source sheet is agents, and then we don't want these other ones. It's going to be okay, right here. Then the target highlighting, we are only targeting a selected field, which is dummy. Once we select, we don't want it to target any other thing, but target this dummy, right? So you're going to click OK, click OK. Right here, once you come here and select, it has stopped selecting, okay? So we are going to have to delete a little. See what we just created. This is the source sheet and the target sheet. We don't want it to target any other sheet, all right? We just want it to target only one sheet, which is this particular sheet. So let's see, should work, all right? Once we click, everything is changing, working as we want it to work. So we are actually 98% done. The other thing that needs to be done is just some basic formatting. So right here, we can just some borders around all of our charts. Put some borders around our charts, light borders actually. We can put the light border around our chart, probably this. Make it pop better. Sorry. Can just put some borders around our chart, around our KPIs and the other cards we have on the view. Since we have a little more time. This. This, and then our table finally, we can have this. For table title, we can give it some padding. We can give it some inner padding of, let me say, 4. We just give it like 4. Come down a little bit. This looks great. Right. So one thing I remember we not add here is a parameter, which is the selected month parameter. Right. So we can bring in the selected month, which is a Boolean, bring it here and make it true. Is that it? Okay. So we need to select the selected month, but we don't want it to be applied to all the dashboards. So we're going to bring it here. This is true for this. This is the selected month. We want to apply to select worksheets. Okay. We want to apply to only the course and the table. The course, whatever doesn't have, okay. Okay, what we're going to do, we just select everything and then remove from the bar. For all that has bar, and then we can, okay. Then let's see the look of our table. Okay, so we can bring in the selected month. That's a selected month. Okay, we can just format it like the other ones, remove the outer padding and give it an inner padding of let me say 20. Okay, now we can call this month. We can give it 8 in the saturation here. All right, great. And then finally, we can just throw in a text around here that says select agent. Make it italic. And then, yeah, we can give it an outer padding of like 20. Okay. And then finally, we can come around here and give this entire one. We can remove this. Oh, pardon me. Yeah. So we can remove that, and our table and this, we can give them outer padding, so they'll delete the wall. So you can give them some outer padding. Let me give them outer padding of, let me say 5. All right, I think this looks better. We can test. We can do tests. We can do basic testing. So we can select July. This selects July. This is now us testing the dashboard we've created. This selects November. And then we can come here and select the different agents and see what they're doing. Hi, Bola. I think if I have any questions, we might actually be at the end of the class right now. We've done all the basic stuff, most important stuff, yeah. So this is, this is a dashboard we've just created. And let's compare it to what we have here. And then, far of what I created in the prototype. Thank you very much. Bola, are you there? Do I have any questions, please? And can someone just read the question? Someone read the questions, please.
Okay, the question says, what did you use to generate the agent's images?
All right, so the agent images, I actually used Figma. So this is Figma. I used a plugin. Come here, you see user profile. You can go to manage plugins. You can find different plugins, search for plugins you want. It's called agent images right here. And then let me demo it. If I come here and use user profile, it's going to load, come to the view, and it's going to ask what I want, right? I want female and male or whatever, different kinds of emotion. If I want them to smile, what color of hair, what age, photo quality, and then I can generate, right? Generate different avatars for me. I think you can also use Midjourney, but I don't know if Midjourney is actually free. I don't know if Midjourney is free. I'm not sure about that. So I'm just seeing a lapse in the table we created. I'm seeing some things are not well aligned. I actually just, since we have a little time, we could just quickly work on that on our table. So I'm looking, we have minimum of 0.1, minimum of 0.1. We can also use this minimum of 0.1, minimum of 0.1. And then we can, where's that? We can just, is that the only question I have, please?
Actually, yes. Sorry, I didn't respond in time. Yeah. So I think the next thing is just to publish as soon as you're done.
All right. I just want to do a little, a little my table. 3. Let me just change it to minimum. There's a little distortion in my table right there. You're going to change that here. And let me change it to this. And we have here, trying to see what exactly is happening here. Okay. Minimum 0.1, 0.1. Let's take this off. Go ahead up. This. What is happening here? I think our table looks nice now. I don't know if there's still any other questions. So we have, our dashboard looks like this. This is the final way our dashboard looks. This looks like a functional dashboard. You can make your selection and every other thing you want to do on the dashboard. Now we can go ahead to push in the dashboard. If there are no more questions, we can go ahead to push the dashboard to Tableau public. We can go to server. Okay, so I think it's working this time. GB, I pushed.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
A round up and then we're good.
Right. I mean, it's been an exciting time. I'm actually it's always a great opportunity for me to actually speak with our members of the data farm. Always excited to do that. And today is the final day of the bootcamp. And I'm very sure you all know that there's going to be a physical event coming next weekend. And I can't wait to actually meet everyone that will be attending that. The other facilitators will be in attendance as well. The mastermind behind the Lagos talk. So we're expecting a blast at the event, and I promise you it's going to be an amazing one. Bola, I don't know if you have anything to say. Kenny, I don't know if Kenny's on the call. Idris, you guys should say something if you have any other additions you want to say. I mean, in the build up to the first in-person event of the Lagos talk.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fisayo. This was very, very nice. Please everyone just keep an eye out on Lagos TUG profile on LinkedIn and on X or Twitter. We'll be sending the links to RSVP for the event by tomorrow. So you can definitely book your spots. We're going to have 50 seats open for physical and then unlimited for virtual. So you can join us also virtually anywhere you are, all across Nigeria or across the whole world at the same time. So yeah, this would be the end of our bootcamp. Thank you very much for everyone that has stuck with us from the beginning right until now. Well, we hope you've been able to learn loads, and then see you guys next week. Thank you, and have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend. Bye, guys. Musa, you can end the call when you're ready.